We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one, between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
We're not even a quarter way into the season. He's already off to a pretty nice start. NFC Offensive Player of the Week in last week's game.
Yeah, week 2, he was electric. See what week 3 has in store. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And this offense can air it out, and when they do, you have to key on Mike Evans.
And we do think about his catch radius first and foremost. A tall, lean receiver, but he actually can make some agile plays as well.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Ready, black 25.
Now a handoff looking right. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. Give him 30 yards there.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Drag it. Hey, check. Liz 5-3.
Throwing on first is Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 23 carries, 123 yards, and a touchdown. So, partner, 2 games worth, he's leading the league in rushing, so he's now trending. Is that what they talk about nowadays? You're talking about trending? That's what he's doing. He'd like to continue it here in this game. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
82.
Wentz to throw on second down. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense: find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Black, come on. Lefty.
On second down, here's Wentz. And down he goes, a Buccaneers sack.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Great 15. Great. Hey, 52, great.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. He's going to loft one deep left side. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Kiki QT, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 3rd down, Winston. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Wentz going to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter, as that's a first down. Defensively, they're going to have to do something about him in a hurry, because that last catch puts him over the 100-yard mark. We haven't even hit the second quarter yet.
And you did say they'd have to do it in a hurry. It has to be right now, because as his confidence grows, it'll actually overwhelm the defense. No matter what they do, he'll feel like they can't stop him.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out.
3 down. Liz. Ram. Kill.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the 1st down and change our momentum?
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Ready. Blue ready.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the 1st round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Now it's Peterson. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now a look at Kiki Cutie as he and the rest of the offense gear up to go again. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
To throw is Wentz. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
81. Hey, stat. Lefty.
Wentz now to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw, it's Wentz. Steps away to his left. Now he's got a man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they'll go on the ground. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll look at Kiki Cutie as he and the rest of the offense gear up to go again. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guys going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. From the gun, it's Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
Black, come on. 5-9.
Throwing now is Wentz. Flushed out right. And he fires one, but incomplete.
And absolutely zero surprise that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
No, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you got to...
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his third.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
Jameis to throw it. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And they'll run it here. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return is Peterson. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the interception, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here back at the 41. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. A final shot before half for Wentz. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. We have hit, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Hey, stat. 5-9. Lion. Take four. Hey, stat. Hey, ram.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Ready. Black 22.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Off the play fake, Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot?
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room.
Ram.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Wentz. He's got his man on the crossing route. A big gain of 31 on third down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ram!
They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Open man is QT, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now we have Wentz here, still down on the ground. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what kind of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
They'll set up to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. It's their quarterback. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great
pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Ready? Flag 22.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is going to be incomplete. The Bucs try it on 4th down but come up empty. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
5-9, 5-9.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Eagles add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. On 1st and 10, Winston. And Winston lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Tight end to the right, boys. Tight end to the right. Move.
Rip. List 5-7. List 5-7.
Watch twist. Watch that.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now Wentz. The quick slant caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Bucs now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions,
Let's go.
but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
12 more yards there and another first down. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Looking to throw. Haley.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From the gun, Haley. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Please.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the